And joining me now is Oren Elam-Elek, who is the founder and CEO of Cyber Team 360. Oren, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for coming on. Tell me, the seriousness of this leak is extremely hard to process at the moment, but one thing we know, it is global. Tell me, what are the consequences of something like this?
First of all, good evening. Thank you for having me. First of all, it's a PR perspective for NSO. They're being, targeted, their client list, their infrastructure, as published by Amnesty and Citizen Lab, has been down several times in 2017 and 2019. And this will force them to change their attitude. And currently, the NSO and its founders are being targeted and being, follow the money route in order to force them to act. But also there's not only the PR perspective, but there's also the real issue here is that such weapons should be reviewed and under supervision. And, currently it's under the highest bidder. Whoever pays the money gets the tool. But definitely the modus operandi here is to have certain regulation review this. And such tools, I want to say, are under supervision by the Ministry of Defense here in Israel with strict regulations. And, they're being sold to specific countries, being vetted for and not publicly for anybody. But once these tools are out of the hands, and this is what NSO claims, is that we don't know and what's being done with those. Also, such tools are not only under Israel. U.S., UK are also selling such tools for many years. So again, this actually brings to awareness what's been happening throughout the world in the cyber surveillance era.
So, Oren, given what you've just told me, with the NSO saying that it was, meant to be used for criminals, for terrorists, but it has fallen into the wrong hands, who should be responsible?
I think this is a very tricky question because it falls under two domains. One, since there is no specific regulation what needs to be done here, and there's no legislation like, the Geneva Convention or the tallying manual that was published, which several countries, including Israel, adopted, this directs what needs to be done under a cyber attack or anything in this. So I think we should be promoting this to have a specific regulation. For example, GDPR, scrutinizing and making sure that this is certainly being provisioned. But again, this also falls under our domain. We should be vigilant and aware how we use, what data do we store in this. So this actually is quite a tricky question to answer.
So really, really briefly, Oren, we're nearly out of time. How do we protect our personal data?
Okay, so what I suggest is first be aware, be vigilant on what we store in our devices, use password keeper, keep our phone updated, make sure there's tools to store our sensitive data. And also notice things that, who do we give, what message do we open, what do we answer on WhatsApp? And these areas are should be on our conscious.
Well, Oren, thank you so much for coming on this evening. We really appreciate your time. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Take care.